Most traders don't lose because of a bad setup. They lose because they panic. But what if there was a way to rewire that response? In this video, we're going to go through what panic looks like in trading and what the top traders do to stay calm under pressure. But before we get started, I want you to hit like and subscribe and drop a comment below because this is going to help boost the algorithm and get this message out to more people like you. So let's get started. The first reason that people panic in trading is because they have an attachment to the outcome. So they're attached to winning or losing. So they think that if they win, they're smart, and if they lose, they're a failure. Just this little attachment to the outcome is going to make you panic during your trades because it feels like your identity is attached to the outcome, right? So you have to detach in order to overcome this. Number two is basically the amygdala brain. You're in survival mode. Every time you put on a trade, you're risking money. And because you're risking money, your automatic response is survival because you're risking money. The part of your brain called the amygdala years ago, a long time ago, was there to save you when you were in danger. So if there was a saber-toothed tiger coming to attack you, the amygdala would give you a natural reaction to survive by running. You would run away from danger. The same thing is happening in trading. When you put on risk, when you put on a trade, you go into survival mode because you're risking money. And because you're doing this, you're not thinking straight. You're not making logical decisions. You're thinking like a lizard. That's why it's called the lizard brain. All logic goes out the window and you start to panic. So that's number two. Number three is the compression of time stress. So you think that now is the only time that you have to take this trade. So you need to get into this trade now. What this is going to do is going to force you to rush into trades that you shouldn't be taking, thinking that there's no more opportunities coming later on. Now is the only time. That's completely false because the professional trader knows that patience and waiting is part of trading and that the opportunities are always going to come every day, every week. The market is abundant. But because you have this time compression stress, you're stressed out and you think now is the only time and you need to take this trade. So you panic and you get into the wrong trades and then you're on the wrong side of the market and that's how you lose. Number four is past loss trauma. So basically you're not able to let go of last week or yesterday's loss. So that loss is an emotional residue that rolls over till today into today's trade, and that's affecting your decision making. So what that looks like basically is because you're stuck in this loss emotion, you become loss aversion, and now you don't want to lose anymore. So you're looking at a setup, but you hesitate. You're fearful. You're scared to get into the next trade because of this emotional residue. So you have to reset somehow. You have to be able to reset every day and just let go of your losses because a loss is a loss. But if you learned something, then it was worth it. But if you took a loss and you learned nothing and you didn't journal, you didn't do anything, then you really took a loss, right? And now you're bringing that baggage over into today and you're not going to perform. You're going to panic. So you're not going to be your best. Okay. So learn to let go of your losses and learn from them and just forget about the past and focus on today. So basically, the way that professional traders that I've seen and worked with, the way they overcome this is basically they have a system in place for resetting their subconscious programming. They understand that the brain is divided into two, subconscious and conscious, right? So your conscious brain is only 10%, and that's all your analytical, your intentions. That's what you see, what you think consciously. but 90% of your brain is subconscious, and those are doing things automatically. They're your automatic responses. So most people have negative programming that is deep in the subconscious mind. So they might have limiting beliefs about money, limiting beliefs about success, limiting beliefs about anything to do with life and the way they operate, which is sabotaging their success in trading without them knowing it. For example, I'll give you an example. If you have a scarcity mindset, so you have this belief that money is difficult to make, once you start trading and you buy a $200,000 prop firm account, and all of a sudden you're up $3,000, $4,000 on one trade. That's more money than you've ever made, and it came so easily. So your subconscious mind is automatically going to close that out. It's going to reject. You're not used to it subconsciously. So the successful traders understand this, and they've overcome this by basically rewiring their subconscious programming. And this is what we do in the Inner Edge Pro, which is the first link in the description. We go in and rewire your brain for optimal performance so that you can trade better, right? You have to have a system. You need a system in place to manage your emotions, not just a system to manage your trades. You need to manage your trades, but your trades is only about 10 to 20% of the entire equation. The rest of the equation, the other 90 to 80% of your trading, is what's going on internally in your brain, what you're thinking, how you're feeling, your emotions. You need to be able to manage this. And knowing it is one thing, and applying willpower to it won't last forever, because you have the old patterns are ingrained into you and they're just going to keep repeating. You might force your willpower on it and do really well for 1 week, and then you'll relapse. You go back to your old ways, or you start changing your strategy. You do all these bad habits, they come back. You can't stick to anything. And that's why the successful traders understand this, and they take it very seriously, and they work on this. Trading is self-improvement most of the time. The strategy is the easy part. If you understand your strategy, you know what you're looking for, you have a system, then all you got to do is following it. Following it and sticking to it is the hard part, right? Learning to say no to new strategies is the hard part. The reason you cannot say no to new strategies is because you have this ego that you think that, oh, I took a loss, so maybe this doesn't work now. Something else shows up, a new video shows up. Oh, I need to try that. Oh, that looks good. So you keep changing forever, right? So you need to have this nervous system reset, and that's going to keep you calm and in control of your trades. So you need to be aware of that. That's what the successful people do. Okay. And then they don't have an ego. Successful traders don't have an ego. They don't need an ego. Actually, ego is the enemy. It'll destroy you. Ego is many things. It's showing off, it's validation, it's having the identity being attached to the outcome, it's not being able to admit that you're wrong, or blaming outside influences instead of internally. So that ego is what basically kills your trades, right? And so successful traders know that ego is detrimental, and they get rid of it. And that's how they can start winning and progressing faster, is just by getting rid of the ego. There's a good book for that called Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. You should go read that. I highly recommend it. And then the last thing that the successful traders do in order to stay calm is basically they journal their emotions. They paper journal their emotions. They don't just record their trades, right? You should record your trades too, all of that. You should be doing that, but you should also be recording your emotions, writing down how you felt before the trade, during the trade, and after the trade. All these things are going to help you stay calm, because when you start to panic, you'll recognize that pattern, right? And then you go, wait, I've been here. I know how to deal with this now. So let's work on this emotion or this panic today, and this is how and then we go back to the system, which is what I have in the first link in the description, and you go through the system and then we fix that and then we clear it. And once you're clear, it's gone. So it's basically clearing the weeds, right? So you journal your emotions so you know what to work on, and then you're going through and taking out the weeds, right? And planting new seeds. So then your trading affirmations come in, and then it all starts to work beautifully. And then before you know it, within 3 to 6 months or very little time actually, you're a new person, you're a new trader, you have a new mindset, and now you're trading differently. You're not your old self that kept panicking and was an emotional wreck. So check that out, first link in the description. If you're new to my channel, go ahead, like and subscribe, and drop a comment. Let me know what panics you, what makes you react to the markets, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.